Margaret Esfahani, and I am here with Shireen Chada from the Tampa Bay Brahma Kumaris. And Shireen has been discussing her soul fitness with us. Welcome, Shireen.
Thank you, Margaret.
I just want to recap briefly with what we discussed in our previous segment. We talked about the soul and the different entities. We talked about the physical and the spiritual. And in soul fitness, we are going to have our concentration on the spiritual, which means it transcends through time, it remains the same and constant. Part of also coming to terms with soul fitness is acceptance and saying, I have a soul and I do need to take care of it. Is that correct?
Actually, a little slightly different.
Okay.
I ended the last segment saying that we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yes.
And so when I say I have a soul, what I'm saying is that I'm a human being and I am looking for this soul. But I think we should very subtly shift our awareness. We should shift our consciousness into thinking, I am a soul and I have this body.
Very good. So flipping our way of thinking and saying, I am a soul having a human experience.
Yes, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. That was Teilhard de Chardin, I think.
Very good. So part of that too is talking about the truth. And we've heard so many times, and you like to tell us as well, that the truth will set you free. How do I believe that? How do I know that to be true?
First, we have to define the truth that I'm talking about.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, I believe that a scientist called Isaac Newton existed a
Okay.
few hundred years ago, and he contributed significantly to modern science, and I think one of the greatest scientists to have contributed the most to modern science
Yes.
is Isaac Newton. And even though I believe that and I know it to be true, and even though he contributed significantly, that kind of knowing or that kind of truth is not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Not believing that, it existed and it happened. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about spiritual concepts here.
Okay.
And in spiritual concepts are concepts that are about spiritual things. Like in my last segment, I spoke about that they're physical things which don't have like this house I was saying, it doesn't have a set, it has a lifespan.
Correct.
And but a spiritual thing always exists, like the soul always exists. And so those kinds of spiritual truth, the truth about spirituality, about spiritual concepts, that is what will set us free when I reflect on these things.
So explain to me if you can, because that is such a big concept to grasp, a few characteristics of the truth in a spiritual sense.
So when I talk about the soul, right, one of the things we mentioned last time and I want to mention again is that the soul is eternal.
Yes.
As opposed to this house.
Correct.
Right? This house did not exist, it's 20 years old. This house did not exist 20 years ago. This house did not exist 300 years ago. And it exists now. And it will probably not exist 300 years from now.
Correct.
But the soul, and the same with the body. The body did not exist 300 years from now.
Right.
The body is not going to exist 50 years from now or 100 years from now. But the soul, the spiritual being, always exists. And so truth, a concept, a spiritual concept, a concept can be said it's a spiritual truth, is when we know that it always exists.
Okay.
That there is no restriction of time on it. There is no lifespan for it.
So like love.
Yes.
Is an example of a spiritual truth.
Yes.
Could you say that?
Yes, love is an example of spiritual truth. And love always exists, or more than that, to say that I am love. Innately, I am love.
Yes.
Right? That always I as love will always exist.
So, if I understand correctly, one of the components of truth, in a spiritual truth, is that it's constant.
It's not restricted by time.
It's not restricted by time. So, in the case of love, love is sort of a feeling that doesn't stop, doesn't start, it just exists.
Yes, it exists. Even though we might think that I need to, that, oh, I have love for this person, and when this person dies, love is gone. But love, me as love, that doesn't go away.
And
right?
so
I will always love.
Yes. And so how do you translate that into, accepting that I will always love, whether or not that's a person that has moved on. And so how can I translate that into a spiritual day-to-day reflection?
So more than I will always love, that might be a little further climb than most people are willing to accept at this point. What we can start with, I am a spiritual being. And as a spiritual being, I'm eternal. And eternal is a really long period of time.
It's eternal.
It's eternal. So to grasp eternity takes a lot. But what I'm saying is, let's take a smaller number, like 1,000,000 years.
Oh, that's less than eternity.
Yes. Less than eternity. And so 1,000,000 years ago, I lived. I as a soul existed.
Yes.
I exist today, and I will exist 1,000,000 years from now. And that's one of, for any concept to be a spiritual concept, it has to fit that criteria.
Okay.
That it has to be eternal.
What other examples do you have then of
There are
truth?
other criteria.
Okay. Can you share with us, please?
The other criteria would be, it's applicable to all human beings. So I'm a spiritual being, and that's true for me. And when you say I'm a spiritual being, that's true for you.
So that's a hard concept to grasp as well. So one of the things that I have to do is I have to accept the fact that there are certain components of the truth in a spiritual sense. Is that correct?
Or I'm talking about spiritual truth.
Yes.
Truth as a spiritual concept, not as a physical concept, not physically what happened, but truth as a spiritual concept.
Is it the same for everybody then?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, that it's applicable to all human beings. That when I say I am a spiritual being having a human experience, that is true for all human beings.
So what if somebody...
It's not like, Muslims out there, or African Americans, or Indians, or Chinese. That's not true. They are not human beings, or they're spiritual beings having a human experience. There's something else. That's not. It's true for all human beings. So that is another criteria.
Very good.
When we accept something as truth, a spiritual truth.
Yes.
Let's say T with the truth with the capital T. And so that means that it's eternal. The criteria is it has to be eternal. The criteria is it has to be applicable to all human beings. And then there's another criteria is that from all perspectives, from my perspective, from your perspective, it's the same. It's not like, because you are American, it's not true for you. It's because I'm from India, Indian people are more spiritual, so it's true for me, but it's not true for you, It's not that. That from my perspective, I'm a spiritual being. From your perspective, as an American, it doesn't matter. It transcends race, it transcends color, it transcends religion. So spirituality, truth transcends all of that, and all religions have certain elements of truth in them.
Yes.
And so I am a soul. I am a spiritual being. That is true.
Truth. Right. So I think that makes perfect sense. That there are certain criteria for the truth. as you said, that it's eternal, that it transcends time, that it is the same for everyone, that each of us are spiritual beings. And that perspective, the third component you mentioned was that there is a perspective, and the perspective is the same for everyone. So how do I convince people that may be skeptical that may not be true, or that, my guess is that you can tell me very clearly.
Right. What happens is everyone wants freedom. We started off by saying truth will set you free.
Yes.
We all want freedom.
Yes.
Every single being on this planet wants freedom. Because what happens when someone doesn't follow the laws of the land, what is the first thing that's taken away from them? Their freedom.
Yes.
They're put in prison.
Yes.
And so we are all looking for that freedom. And so this is spiritual freedom I'm talking about. It's not just, I can get in the car and drive wherever I want to, which is a wonderful freedom. And I really appreciate that freedom. And I really appreciate the fact that I'm living in a country where, as a woman, I can get in a car and drive somewhere, because in some countries they don't let women do that. Though I appreciate that, I'm talking about this feeling of being unbound, this feeling of being untethered, this feeling of being free. And when I reflect on spiritual concepts, when I reflect on truth with a capital T, that is when I will be free.
So just for the general population and audience, the truth that we're talking about is really inside. It's not.
Yes, it's a spiritual thing. You cannot touch it. It's not tactile.
Right.
You can't touch it, you can't taste it, you can't see it. It is, all spiritual things are that way.
And more importantly, to take it one step further, that we're not talking about experiences here in the physical world where our perceptions may be different or our experiences may be different. We are talking right now about an internal perspective, a spiritual entity in our mind.
Yes.
In our soul.
Right.
And in our heart.
Right. Because what happens is that we have to, it's an understanding. It's an awareness. And spirituality is that. Soul fitness is all about awareness and understanding. When I understand that I am more than just a physical body that's going to finish in another 50 years, that is when I accept. I have to accept, and then I will understand, yes, this is true. There is something more to me than just this physical body. And when I reflect on that spiritual experience of who I am, that will set me free.
That sounds fantastic. I like the fact that we, when we begin to accept and recognize the certain characteristics of the truth, those being that it transcends time, that it is eternal, that it is the same for everyone, and that all perspectives regarding the truth, the spiritual truth, are the same. That acceptance of the truth and that belief in that internal spiritual truth is what will set us free. That
reflection on it.
Yes, the reflection of that truth, and keeping that in the forefront. It is not a physical truth.
Yes.
It is truly a spiritual soul inside of our mind that we believe in wholeheartedly.
Yes.
And so with that, Shireen, I would like to thank you so much with giving us the characteristics of the truth and how the truth can set us free. And once again, the three main components of the spiritual truth are that it's eternal, that it exists forever, and that it has the same for everyone, and that all the perspectives are equal and not different for anyone. And once we accept that, it will set us free. And I do believe in that.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you, Shireen, very much. It's a pleasure. Let's continue with Soul Fitness. In our next session, we will be discussing additional techniques to help us strengthen our soul. Thank you.